And you think that traditionally, prior to our contact with the Europeans and their values and their philosophies and the religions that they introduced to our part of the world, you named Islam, Judeo-Christianity, and Hinduism or Buddhism, for example, we had a different view onto the roles and responsibilities of women, and these views translated into a different everyday political and social reality.
Yeah.
Can you tell me, in everyday terms, what the prospects for a woman's achievements were prior to our contact with the Europeans? What was their political, the socio-economic, and perhaps their family, the personal reality and prospects for women in the traditional African context?
Before we go there, I would rather state the position of woman, the position of woman in our religion. If you watch all our concepts about creation, man, and humanity generally, we name God male and female. Even in the Bible, let us make man in our own image. Let us make Manu. Manu is the word for human being. Let us make Manu in our own image. And in the image of God, he made male and female. So God must have been a man and a female. Now, if you look at our own tradition, the name we give to God, Atana Nyombo, Father, Mother, Nyombo, Obatampa, Oba, Mother, Penyi, Father, Hoto, Hono, Father, Mother, Sobalisa, Father, Mother, Sachi, Father, Mother, Wenchi, Seichi, Father. It's always Father, Mother. Nauni, Father, Mother. So our constellation is Mother, Father, Mother.
Equally, both equally represented.
Yeah, equally represented. And they tell you that of the two, the male is dormant. The female is the most active. You give your
Interesting.
You give your sperm to the female, and you become like this. How the woman turns that essence into a full human being is, so they tell you that woman is actually the creator of this universe. You see, she creates her the universe with her 10 powers. The male has the essence and the female has the creative power, 10 of them, and you call it Helu. The male you call it Hala. So we say ha Helu, ah Helu. So the female is the creator of all the things that you see in this universe, and the power behind creation is female power. We call it chi. That is the chi you put in the computer. So in our tradition, the Yoruba tradition, we call the female Nyonu, awakener of life. Like you put all the good things in the computer, but if you don't put a chip there, all the things you put in, it will not be awakened. So until you put a chip there, so it is that female power we call chi, which has become she. That's why we call her she.
So how do these core religious values and beliefs translate into social and political and economic reality? Because it is one thing to believe something, but if we don't act it out on a daily basis, it can become separate from what is manifest in the physical world. And I'm looking at the socio, economic and political reality of women in Africa traditionally, historically, and nowadays. Well, in those days we had female generals like Yas and Tiwa who led nations to war against their perceived enemies. These days we have female presidents, but it looks as if there are certain things that are almost not culturally accepted as roles for women, and there are even others which are taboos, and these go across music, politics, economics, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, what has happened is we have, like I said, we have relegated woman and womanhood to the background, and we use them as tools for our enjoyment. That is number one. That has caused a lot of problem. because we don't know what they are. We don't know how to set them in to help the progress of mankind.
But we had this knowledge before.
We had it. We were using it. I'm coming towards it. Now, what has happened is, woman is not recognized, so she's thrown away. But if you look at our society generally, let the man die in the family. Within 2 weeks, the woman takes control and everything is moving smoothly. But let the woman die, the man is lost, totally lost, until another woman comes in. So we can see their role already in the family setup. If you look at...
That's interesting, Doc. I'm sorry for interrupting you, but you are saying that socially, in the socio-economic context, at the domestic level, men actually need women more than women need men.
Yeah, sure.
But that flies in the face of the role of a man as a provider. We see a man as a provider, a protector, and then sometimes as a partner and a parent.
You can bring all the goody things in this world and put it in the house. If a woman is not there to organize it, you are lost. So woman is the organizer of everything in the family. If you can have all the monies, you have everything. If there is no woman to organize you, you are lost, totally lost.
You think if we change our government to an all-female parliament, an all-female executive, all-female legislature, we'll have much better results?
Ghana is lucky right now because we have started, despite the suppression of woman and womanhood, women have struggled slowly and they're emerging slowly out of this oppression. So they are now asserting their power. We are feeling their presence now. A lot of women are becoming leaders of nations. And in Ghana, the constellation is very, very beautiful now. The Minister of, Culture and Tourism. Culture is our problem. Africa, we have everything. The only thing that has happened is we have thrown our culture away and we have become marionettes of another culture. So we are not making progress. Now, women are the best revolutionists. We have a woman now serving as Minister of, Culture and Tourism.
As well as Transport.
So,
and Foreign Affairs.
Yeah, that woman, she holds the key. She must know how to turn our culture to become progressive. We have women now as educationists, the Minister of Education. When the Minister of Culture brings the goody things out of our culture, the Minister of Education must turn that to become productive in the education system. Our law system is governed by a woman,
So we have women in key positions in law, in transport, in foreign affairs, in education, in culture, in tourism.
Yeah.
Does that mean that automatically everything is going to go well?
Well, if they know the powers they have to come to me, and I'll begin to explain to them the powers they hold, and then they will begin to wield that power, not to destroy, not to suppress, but to use it constructively to help the progress of the nation. If they can do that, Ghana will become the center of the whole world, because the talk is that the center of civilization is now in Ghana. But the instruments we have, the rudiments we have to make that talk a reality is embedded in our culture, in our cultural values, the values we hold. So now that women are holding all these centers of power, I wish they could know what powers they hold, they have in themselves, and then they begin to use these powers to reawaken our cultural values.
Wouldn't this challenge many men in modern day Ghana today? A woman with power, with actual executive authority in the political, in the economic, even in the social sense, many men might feel challenged by that and might even become defensive.
No, what happens is in God, there is division of roles. We, the men, we have certain roles to play in creation, in existence. And the female also have theirs. So it is not going to be clash of powers. We, like fire and its burning power, they are one. Fire, the burning power is there. There's a power behind fire. That's the chi. And then the material that is being burned. So the two must work together to move, to create energy.
But I would still, I still have this burning, question about institutions. For example, the institution of queen mothers. When it comes to the Evers, this is a relatively recent development. It's a contemporary development. With the Akans, not so. So with the Akans, I can see how our values, our beliefs, and our views traditionally of gender roles translated into social reality, because there was an institution that was specifically for women that had its roles and its powers and had a balance with those that were mainly for men or only for men. What about in modern day society? We don't seem to have those institutions, and we don't even institute these ideas into the minds of our children during their educational process.
No, you see, what has happened is in the Ewe society, this role of the queen mothers was differently handled. We have the tronkoshi. That tronkoshi they have been trying to throw away.
Yes, the terrible practice that enslaves girls in fetish priests' shrines.
It is an institution that most people don't understand. If they would understand it, all societies will want.
Wait, what is there to understand? You take an innocent child and you give her away to a fetish priest, and he does whatever he wants with her, and you can't even question him because you're afraid of his powers.
Very. Just because you have not delved into that institution to know what it is. All the talks about it is useless.
Yes, I know. The last time you told me that it was equivalent to a scholarship to Harvard, or being given a chance to be a cardinal in the Vatican and being elected to the role of Pope eventually. It was like a redemptive social institution, because the power and the integrity of the priesthood was pure and, even unquestionable or transparent. So you didn't even have to question it. It was there for everyone to see. But in modern day Ghana, it is not so.
No. The institution of Tronkoshi, we cannot discuss it here. It is an institution through which actually women are trained to discover and know the powers that they possess, so that they can set it rightly at the basis of society and carry society. That was the Ebe society formerly. Even the ancient society, the Jews, they still have the Tronkoshi, but they don't talk about it. The Indians, they have the Tronkoshi, but they don't talk about it.
They have a parallel to it.
Yeah. The Romans, they made a mistake and destroyed it, and that led to the destruction of the Roman civilization. The Greeks also did the same, but that's not the question now. What we do is we use it to enhance woman and womanhood. So we call them mama, queen mothers. So the queen mothers you're talking about was already there.
So with the Ewe culture, it was a religious institution.
It was a religious institution.
Whereas with the Akan cultures, it was a political institution.
They have made it a political institution.
Okay, I'm going to open the phone line so that viewers can participate in our conversation. The numbers are on your screen. If you dial and you can get through, you can join in my conversation with Dr. Kumoji. We are talking about the roles of women historically and in the contemporary context. Modern day women, classical, historical women, and their roles. What is it about our culture that either projects or suppresses women? What are your thoughts? What are your feelings? What are your comments on this topic? Dial the number, get through, and talk directly to Dr. Kumoji and to everyone else that's watching Sunrise right now. Patricia Boateng, you post that you are enjoying the program, but you want me to do you a favor and say hi to Kweku Timing for me and tell him that he is your favorite on air. So Kweku, if you are watching and listening, there is a lady called Patricia Boateng who thinks that you are her favorite on air. Lots of compliments coming out to Della Hayes and JC, the women of Calaban, and I think that they are amazing. And I'm going to be speaking to Doko Doko. That's the last nickname. They've got fantastic nicknames. I mean, absolutely the best. They've got the most incredible backgrounds. I mean, from housewife to student to food vendor to hairdresser, and they are actually incredible. They've done something that I've been asking men to do: play live. Instead of rolling a clip, we play live music. They've done that amazingly. They've got many more songs that they're going to share with us. But right now, I'd like to say a very good morning to Adam. Good morning, Adam. Calling us from Tema, I believe.
Good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Adam. Okay, I think I can hear you on the control room intercom.
Okay, hello.
Adam. Hello, Adam.
I just want to say a good morning to...
Hello, Adam. Adam, I can only hear you on the intercom, not on the floor in the studio, so please speak up.
But I'd like to say good morning to Dr. Kumoji and to congratulate him for the good work he is doing. I believe that morally our culture value has been relegated to the back. And as he said...
Okay, I think I've lost Adam. But what Adam was saying, Doc, and I hope next caller we can hear in the studio, is that, well, first of all, I wanted to say, good morning to you, and I think he appreciates your thoughts and your contributions. And he also observed before the line cut that, like you said, it looks like we've relegated our culture to the back in favor of other cultures, which I suppose, can happen sometimes. Culture is dynamic, it does change, and, you can get overwhelmed or even over-attracted, or over-enamored of foreign cultures. Variety is the spice of life. How can we get the best aspects of our traditional culture, our traditional values, in order to make our modern day culture better? It's no use fighting old things. It's better to create new things. How can we renew our culture or create a new one?
First of all, the government is not paying any attention at all to our own cultural values. We have adopted European, Judeo-Christian, Arabo-Islamic values, and have thrown our own values away.
Yes, I agree with you. So, by and large, just for the sake of argument, but some of those values, the Judeo-Christian, the European, the Asian, many of them are good. Not all of them are bad. Many of them are actually quite good, or aren't they?
Replacement of your culture, no.
Evolution of the culture, not replacement.
Enrichment of your culture, yes. You can. There is what you call cultural flux. We influence other people, and other people influence us. But to throw our system entirely away as if it is nothing, you have relegated your ancestor to the background. You say they are nothing, so they will not help you anymore, and you will not make any progress when you do that.
Okay, Abdul Basid Ali, I've got Romeo on the line, but before I speak to you, Romeo, just a second. Abdul Basid Ali says women were degraded and looked down upon in the olden days. But in the arrival of recent religions, the status of women has been raised high. So you can see that Abdul Basid Ali has been educated to think in the opposite way to what you are saying now. He thinks that in the olden days, womanhood was suppressed and modernity has actually freed and, projected it. But it is high time he writes that women should motivate themselves and involve themselves in the driving force of the country, because without women, the country is without success. So he agrees with you on that. But let's speak to Romeo quickly. Good morning, Romeo. Good morning.
Hello.
Yes, Romeo, I hear you.
Good morning. I want to contribute from your program. See, in the olden days, when I was like 7, 8 years, I lived with my grandmother. and the way he trained us. See, we have used our culture, and now we are using the other people's culture. That's not helping us at all. Because in our village, when the woman is in the period, you won't hear even the other women. You go separate. But now they are cooking for the men and doing all sort of things. You see, we have now. If you go to my village, everything has spoiled. By before, when they are doing those things, they are on those culture. Everything is moving smoothly. But now they have spoiled everything. So I do support Mr. Dr. Kumoji. Thank you very much.
So, Doc, would you say that we have to go back and, reinstate some of the extremist views and practices that are so fundamentally opposed to modern ideas and practices of liberty and equality, put women in gender roles and hold, them in a certain view, especially during their menstruation periods and all that? This all seems like medieval, dark age kind of thinking and practice to me.
The gender role is not negative. The gender role is simply to understand the laws, the mechanisms, and the modus operandi of life. When this universe is created, there are certain laws upon which it has been created, and there are certain ways that it works along certain ways. The ancient system is not actually primitive as people think of it. Rather, the ancient system brings us deep into the laws of God, to the laws of creation, to the laws of life. And so we know how to handle things. When we are talking of going back to a lot of people think, our culture is primitive, barbaric, and ancient. No. What we do is it brings you right down into the source of creation. When they are going to create, when they are going to initiate you in the ancient tradition, behold the mysterious creative mother. She creates her mysteries in her. So they bring you to the source of creation so that you know exactly how things have happened. That is what we have missed. That is what we have thrown away. So going back into the ancient system means that they bring you back to know exactly how things are done. The laws and the principles upon which something is created are the same laws and principles which are used to preserve and promote it. That is what we are not doing. We have done our own creative thinking and have thrown away the system that God has used to create us.
Okay, let's try to include Salifu in our conversation. He's been holding on. Good morning, Salifu. Good morning, Salifu.
Yeah, good morning, guys. Yeah, good morning, Doc. Yeah. I want to contribute to the program.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Doc. I'm very, very happy for the education of doctor. I learned a lot of things from doctor because I didn't know certain things in Africa, and most importantly, the mother and then father. So I want to thank doctor for this educative issue. And I want to urge him to always invite him to come and then educate the public about this important certain things. Thank you very much.
Did you make out what Salifu was saying? Well, he said, he wanted to thank you for what you said about the transgender identity of most African deities and the original African concept of the supreme deity, the supreme being, i.e. God. I mean, God being both male and female, and not just exclusively of one gender, as we are taught, for example, in some monotheistic religions, God being referred to as male, he. We've got Patrick calling from Kolebo. Good morning, Patrick.
Yeah, my name is Patrick.
Good morning,
I'm
Patrick.
calling from Kolebo. I want to contribute to the program.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think that I do not entirely agree or disagree with Doctor. I feel that there is a need for us to upgrade some of the values and systems in the ancient, in our ancient traditions, so that we could be able to live in this contemporary world. But on the other side, I feel that some of the things we have adopted from the other side of the world have as a community. For instance, we are told that as a young man, it's good you rise up for a young lady to sit. But unfortunately, our ladies, the same person you rise up for to sit, will not get up for an elderly woman who is also seated. And I think that we need some kind of upgrading of some of the values in the ancient times.
Thank you,
and
Patrick.
then we also be very careful of some of the
Thank you,
things we
Patrick.
have.
That's a fantastic example. Thank you. Thank you very much for your contribution. That's a fantastic example. See, that's an everyday example of the way we view gender roles and age roles. And I had this same conversation with a lady who was actually a Miss Ghana. And we're talking about whether a man should stand up and offer his seat to a woman. You see, now what Patrick has added is the age dimension to it. And there were two schools of thought. I said, well, I would do it personally in that conversation with Inner Party, the former Miss Ghana. I said, I would do it, but I don't think I have to. I don't feel it is my duty, for example, to give up my seat to a woman, but I would do it out of a feeling of, sympathy or respect or admiration. And it doesn't have anything to do with the personality or the characteristics of the particular individual. It's just for all women.
Look.
What is the African thinking of this? I mean, do we have to give our seats up to ladies
every day
to the elderly?
In our daily practice, we give respect to woman wherever you find woman. The moment a woman comes into your surrounding, she begins to awaken you to yourself, and to win the woman, you have to make concessions. You give your seat, you lure her to yourself. So you are giving up yourself long ago. We do it unconsciously. We respect women because of their position.
Even traditionally.
Even the word he that we have given to man is not a prerogative of man. The hello, we call it her. If you find in one of the Psalms, you find the word her. Another is saying ha. Ha is for woman. That's why you call it for male. That's why we call the male hala. But to steal the power of the woman, we have taken over the...
Yes, but Doc, what Patrick did was, he actually gave an everyday example. Traditionally, we teach ourselves to have a great deal of respect for age, for the elderly. And, the title of elder comes with a lot of respect and privilege to it. So automatically, a younger person would yield or cede to an older person in every regard, in conversation, for example, in seating, in comfort, aligning the queue. This goes all the way from our traditional thinking into our everyday reality. What about women?
Women, because they are the controller of life, we have to give them a seat when they appear. We have to give them that respect. If you respect woman will lift you. It is because we fail to respect the power of woman. That is why we are retarding. I have dealt with women all my life, and what I am today is I have to ascribe it to woman and womanhood. Our society will be better off if we start according that respect that woman deserves. If you marry and you give love, respect, tender care to your wife, your wife will raise you to the level you want to.
Okay, next time you come, Doc, I want us to look at some of the harder issues that women face on a daily basis, such as rape, child abuse, and domestic violence. And I want us to look at the African traditional thinking and practice when it came to such practices that we understand are negative and detrimental to any individual. So next time you come, please, I want us to look at those issues in particular, as well as, the economic aspect of things and the political. You're watching Sunrise, and Della Hayes and the Jesse Women of Color Band are going to perform Women of the World. They say they do better than the video clips, they do better than the men. They're the first ever live band on the Sunrise show, performing live just for you. Women
of the world. We are women of the world. We are all that you need. We are everything you've got. Lovely, precious women. We are all that you need.
We are all that you need.
We are everything you've got.
We are everything you've got.
We've got the power.
Yes, we have. Yes, we have.
We are the ones that you need. We are women of the world. We are all that you need. We are everything you've got. Lovely, precious women. We are all that you need.
We are all that you need.
We are everything you've got.
We are everything you've got.
We've got the power.
Yes, we have. Yes, we have.
We are the ones that you need. Precious women who can find. We got no pay for the work we do. But for women, we are here to stay. To show the world what we can do, what we can do, what we can do, 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 do. Precious women who can fight. We got no pay for the work we do. But for women, we are here to stay. To show the world what we can do, what we can do, what we can do, 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 do. We are worthy in society. We end up paying more than you do. Don't deny our right.
Just listen to us.
Don't deny our right.
Just listen to us.
We wanna be